Hey Gators and sports fans, get all your Gator talk, news, analysis, and opinions on the Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning podcast. Find us on your favorite podcast platform or watch us on Facebook Live between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. every weekday. Pod Up, because we are Gator fans. So say it's great to be a Florida Gator.
Good morning and welcome to a Friday edition of Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Friday, we'll be joined by JC on the Titan MR hotline in just a second. Some news and notes. If you missed it, the Lady Gator basketball team now sits at 4-2 in conference play.
Yeah.
They hammered Kentucky on the road. I think Kentucky was a ranked team, but I'm going to give you a stat here in just a second. I'm going to bring JC on the board. Good morning, JC. You're on the Titan MR hotline. How's it going?
That's great. God bless Big Joe Calorio, and all the boys.
Is your Titan MRI hotline working correctly?
Yeah, everything's good, my man. I sat in a restaurant and I saw I was over there seeing a couple people for a few minutes, and I saw the Florida women's basketball score go across the ESPN ticker. And when I saw how they literally just ran over and blew out the ranked Kentucky Lady Wildcats, I had to tell you because I don't know if you'd saw that. So I wouldn't have seen it if I didn't look up for a few minutes while I was visiting.
Well, I was flipping around the channel while I was doing stuff, and their game was actually on the SEC network, and it was like it went to commercial, and I could have sworn I saw where we were down by 20, but maybe I saw the score wrong.
Yeah, you did.
Then I forgot to put it back on. But listen to these stats here, JC. I like to look at Twitter every now and then for these stats, and our good friend Chris Harry threw this on his Twitter page. So for 5 years and 2 head coaches after the last time the Lady Gators made the NCAA tournament, here's what the records look like. 16-17, 2016 and 2017, they went 15-16, 5-11 in conference. Years 17 and 18, they went 11-19, 3-13 in league play. 18-19 season, they went 8-23, they were 3-13. 19 and 20, they were 15 and 15, 6 and 10 in conference play. And last year they were 12 and 14, 3 and 11 in SEC play.
Wow.
Bring on our interim head coach, Kelly Ray Finley. She has them at 14 and 5 and 4 and 2 in conference play.
If Strickland doesn't knock on Kelly Ray Finley's door at the end of this year, as long as this keeps going, and I don't
why wouldn't you go knock on her door this morning when she gets home from the game?
Fair enough. All right. So when Kelly Ray shows up for her morning coffee, he ought to be sitting there right at the doorstep as she pulls in with a folder and a contract. And that
should have like a big box of donuts and coffee waiting and just a contract.
Absolutely. Just a contract to say, here is your pen. You will sign right here, Kelly Ray. Congratulations. You are the new head basketball coach of the Lady Fighting Gators. That could get me fired up, man. If that team, which has been the most futile sports, team that I think in the entire athletic department for years, could come out and do something like that and come out and win 20 games this year with her as the captain, then let that boat float, baby, and put the Lady Gators on your map, because that you go and roll Kentucky like that, that's a shocker. I was stunned, and I don't really pay attention to it. Admittedly, I'm sorry to say. I just don't. There hasn't been any reason to. But if they can start playing good basketball and get involved and play with South Carolina and Mississippi State and Tennessee, all these teams, that would be fun to watch, I think. So, I think I used to watch them when Carol Ross was the coach long, long time ago. And the last assignment I had at TV 20 on the road was a regional trip in the NCAA tournament for the Lady Gators at Purdue. And they played Old Dominion, Louisiana Tech, I think. It's one other team. Maybe it was Duke. And it was some of the most fun stuff I had ever seen watching basketball in person, because these girls just sell out, man. They play for everything. There's nothing that they thought of back then. Now, maybe it's different today, but there's nothing that they thought of back then after basketball, I would think. Now, maybe, Delisha Milton did play, I think, in some sort of pro league, but it wasn't as pronounced as it is today. But at any rate, they play hard, man. And so they would deserve a lot of credit and a lot of attention if they can keep this going. And good for Kelly Ray Finley.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Also, Gator men play tomorrow at 1 o'clock against Vanderbilt in the O'Connell Center. And they had that makeup game that was canceled due to COVID Monday against Ole Miss. So they play Saturday, Monday, Wednesday. So quick little stretch of games here. They need to win. We'll see how they perform again without Colin Castleton. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but it could be. I'll still do the channels, JC, watch all kinds of stuff. And there's a dude playing at Western Kentucky, and Western Kentucky's head coach is Rick Stansbury, who was at Mississippi State for all those years. This dude is 7'6".
Yeah.
not like 7-footer, a 7'6" dude. And let me tell you something. He can play.
Gets up and down.
He's not like goofy looking. Some of those big, tall jokers, they just can't move very well. He is extremely athletic, but I was like, damn, a 7'6" guy.
The next Yao Ming. He could be the next Yao Ming there, QB.
John says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Melton Law, why do we watch gymnastics and softball, but no one cares about women's basketball? He's just curious.
Well, I think the problem here has been just the absolute futility of the program. And, the last coach they had, Neubauer, was an abject failure, and that reflects on the AD. And now he needs to make up for that. And if this Kelly Ray Finley is the real deal, which it appears she is, I think the interest will come back. And when you beat Kentucky by over 20 points, that's going to get people's attention. And that's all it is. I mean, I think it's just a matter of getting people's attention by winning basketball games.
Yep. And we had a Gator going to the transfer portal yesterday, who I think is a pretty good player. He was in there for about 38 minutes, JC, maybe 40 minutes. And then he pulled his name back out and he's staying as a Gator. I don't know if you heard that or not, but Tyron Hopper put his name in the portal. It was all over Twitter. And then about 40 minutes later, he had announced that he had taken his name out of the portal.
So QB, I got a question about the portal, and this may sound like a dumb question, and I should know the answer, but I just don't, and I didn't. Are you allowed to do transfer for portal as often as you want as a player?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay. Why did I think it was one time you could do it? I didn't know.
Well, I don't know. I think you can do it one time without sitting out, but my point is, like, I could put my name in the hat today and it could stay in there for 2 or 3 days and nobody may not want me. I pull my name out. Then a couple of weeks go by and I talk to some people. I'm like, you know what? I want to go back in the portal. You can keep going in and out, but you can transfer, but I think you only have one. I don't know. They've changed the rules so much and they need to get on it. Joseph said it was for 68 minutes that he was in the portal.
Yeah, I think I asked that because of JT Daniels. He left Southern Cal to Georgia. Now he's leaving Georgia, and I wasn't.
Well, you used to could only transfer. Well, you always had to sit out, but you had a one free time, and I think you still do. I don't really know. John says Elijah Blades has transferred 4 or 5 times. Yeah, he has.
Okay.
Ken says on Facebook Live, brought to you by the only personal injury attorney law firm partner of the Florida Gators. That's Melton Law. Shane, you and JC should do a few Gator games like Peyton and Eli this season. Well, I'm busy doing other things, so that's why I can't do it. So that would be fun, though. We'd have JC draw up plays for y'all.
Well, my level of expertise would not match Eli's if Shane were Peyton, let's say. However, I think we could do baseball, but baseball's slow moving and it would be boring. But we could make it interesting because I could definitely, talk about baseball along with QB the way Eli and Peyton talk about football. But football would be a little bit of.
Rick's got a great question on Facebook Live. At what point do you lose your scholarship when you enter the portal? Usually as soon as you enter the portal, you're done. Now, there's certain cases where a coach may not say, look, if you enter the portal, you ain't coming back. But obviously, we don't know the conversations that Hopper and some of these other guys that did decide to come back. But that's been my point the whole time about the transfer portal. Yeah, it sounds great for certain players, but as we talked to Brent Beard yesterday, there's 1,500 kids and tons that have been sitting there for over a year that just gave up free food, free living, free education. So anyway, it's crazy. Speaking of recruiting, Billy Napier was out and about all over the state of Florida. Kirby was landing a helicopter in a couple places. And I read where Saban took, he's on his little private plane.
Yeah.
But think about this, JC. He went from one city or one school to another school. It was a 10-minute flight. Just think about that. A 10-minute flight.
Jeez, I guess that would be like going to Lake City, or maybe Middleburg. I guess he was concerned. It was somewhere down south. I don't know if it was in Miami or on the West Coast or the East Coast, but hell, I-75, you can get in there. There's a wreck everywhere, so it probably makes sense. But can you imagine? By the time you take off, you're coming down. Yeah. Well, hey, these guys are on the road, man. It's great, or in the air, and it's this is the second signing period time. This is one of the rules we've talked about. QB, they got to get rid of the early signing period, at least in December. If they want to do two of them, do it different times. But big deal.
John's got a great Facebook Live question here, JC. I want you to sit back and think about this. Okay.
Okay. Sitting back.
John says, I posted this question to Buddy Martin. If Tim Tebow would have chosen to go to Alabama, would Nick Saban have ever ended up in Tuscaloosa?
Well, what a hypothetical that is. And the only answer I would say is probably so, because of how lousy a coach Mike Shula was, regardless of who the quarterback.
Well, here's how I would answer that.
And Percy Harvin wasn't going to Alabama either, but maybe somebody else was. I don't know.
No, but it was between Alabama and Florida for Tebow.
Yeah, sure. Shula and Urban. It was Shula.
I just don't know. I don't know if Tim would have been used correctly in the Mike Shula type of style of play.
Exactly.
And Tim probably wouldn't have been the player. I think he just fit perfectly what Urban likes to do with a running quarterback.
Absolutely. That's totally true. And when Mike Shula played, he was a drop back passer, basically. That's it. And that offense didn't remind me of anything Florida was doing in 06 and 07 and 08. So I think the answer would be no, he would not have, because Mike Shula and Urban Meyer have just two different offensive minds.
Rap Spot's expanding. Go check them out. Second location. It's at 1931 North Main Street. Rap Spot is teamed up with Vibrant Vinyl Works to offer color change wraps, advertising wraps, custom striping, hood wraps, and wall wraps. Go check them out. JC goes every week and he changes his Corvette from the Bengals one week to Alabama the next week, and then he rips it off and he puts his Rams decals on there. That's what JC does.
Hey, how about this? Check this out. I got to go to a wedding on Saturday afternoon, but it starts an hour and a half before kickoff of the Bengals game. So they've got some cute little restaurants and sports bars up in High Springs. I'm going to check them out for the first time Saturday. So get ready, High Springs. We're rolling in there on Saturday in the cold weather.
Oh, what if there's like a rain delay at the wedding and it goes into wild card weekend and you can't watch the games, JC?
No, I think we're not thinking that way, QB. I'm glad that High Springs has some things to offer that I heard are pretty good.
It's probably an outdoor wedding, I would think, in High Springs at a barn or somewhere.
It's one
of those nice. Yeah, mm-hmm. I love those type of weddings.
And people are supposed to wear boots and hats and cowboy stuff and all that. I don't have that anymore. I used to have some dingo boots in high school that I wore at Buchholz because we were kind of like the old rednecks athletes at Buchholz High School in the 80s, 81 and 82. And I used to have some dingo boots, but those dingo boots are long gone. Remember dingoes? Right, so Jason, you remember dingoes, right?
Dingo yeah. I don't know if they're still in business or not. I had something here I wanted to read to you. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Oh, so what are your thoughts? There's a lot of rumors going around now that Jim Harbaugh is going to jump ship and go to the Raiders.
Would that surprise you? He's losing a lot of players. He's got to play at Ohio State, and he's done his thing. The biggest win in Michigan football history of the last 2 decades was what happened this year. He got that under his belt. He's not going to win a national title there, I wouldn't think. So I think the Raiders present a great opportunity. He's an NFL guy to me anyway, QB. He's always, he did great things at Stanford. Yes, he did. But this has taken him a long time here at Michigan. I think it's worn him out, and I would not be surprised to see him go and coach Derek Carr and the Raiders. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We got a text on the Titan MR text line from Jonathan. Jonathan said, "Hey guys, did y'all see on Twitter that Lane Kiffin was in Athens, Georgia, recruiting the wide receiver? I can't remember his name, and JT Daniels." Did you see that?
I did. No.
Yeah, he you know how Lane takes pictures of all the airports, the little private airports.
Yeah.
He was in Athens. He met with JT Daniels, and who's the wide receiver that caught a touchdown pass against Michigan, number 7? I think he's talking about maybe going to Alabama as well.
Against Michigan?
Yeah. Yeah, number 7 for Georgia.
Oh, when they played Michigan. Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he's a highly recruited kid, so we'll see what happens. Rick says here on Facebook Live, Visors is a bar, isn't it? We were carded to get up there. I don't think they card you to go to Visor. I think they card you only if you drink.
Well, Rick's very young looking guy. Hey, QB, I told you Wednesday.
Jermaine Burton's his name. Jermaine Burton.
So speaking of Georgia QB, it's like we kind of hypothesized on Wednesday that old Stetson was coming back, and here he is back with the Dogs for another shot as a senior. And I can't say that surprises me that much, even though we all justified why he wouldn't. Football players play, and it didn't surprise me at all to see him make that announcement.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because, there's still the talk, as of yesterday I saw, Caleb Williams going. Could you imagine if Caleb Williams is sitting on the bench because of Stetson?
Don't bet on that one. Markham loves this kid Bennett. He loves him, and that's it.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting because, they got the Brock Vandergriff and Gunnar Stockton and
what a great
Carson
name
Beck and all these guys. Yeah. I just got a text from Edgar. Edgar says they do card advisors. So I guess all the advisors talk is about they're hosting. They take the recruits. They don't take them up to advisors, I don't think. I think they put them in the private rooms downstairs with their families for the recruiting visit. Well, maybe they're advisors upstairs. So they're probably first of all, if they're going to have recruits up there, they're going to block it off. It's going to be a private event, I would think. Very private event, no question. Yeah. So we just got all that information. Gosh, there was we had a text on the Titan MR text line I need to read. Getting all kinds of texts here. All right. This is a long one. Bear with me, folks. Happy Football Friday, fellas. Shane, on Wednesday, you and JC were wondering why Kurt Warner would pick the Cardinals. I wasn't. Hang on a second. Wasn't me. It was JC wondering why Kurt Warner would pick the Cardinals over the Rams because of his career in St. Louis. And while I agree it was not a great pick because of the Rams defense, he's no doubt a big partial to the Cards as well. Back in 2009, he was seconds away from a Super Bowl title, if not for a sick catch and throw by Big Ben and Santonio Holmes. I rode Warner and Anquan Bolden to a fantasy title that year. That was a hell of an air raid offense.
Mike Wallace.
Fitzgerald.
It was Mike Wallace. I thought it was Mike Wallace.
No, it was Santonio Holmes in the back corner, right corner.
That wasn't Mike Wallace?
Okay. No. With a cold, rainy weekend on tap, I'm excited to actually watch some playoffs. Bills Chiefs ought to be epic. And despite the Rams' secondary woes, I think their defensive front gets the best of the Bucks. But I won't be surprised if Brady finds a way with limited weapons. Appreciate the text, Ryan. Yeah, I wasn't. JC was the one that got all bent out of shape because Kurt Warner picked the Cardinals.
No, I wasn't bent out of shape. I was just saying that a lot of the Rams fan chat rooms, they went kind of crazy over it. I didn't think it was that big a deal. I mean, this is what he does on the NFL Network. That's what he's paid to do. I think he loves both franchises. So,
yeah, he does. And so anyway, we got the playoffs this weekend. Let's do this, JC. Before we get to our playoffs picks, I'm going to read you This Day in Sports because it's very interesting today. I did a lot of digging today. Okay. Called preparation, JC. Preparation. So at Comfort Temp, comfort is our business peace of mind. Our promise. Comfort Temp's now hiring team members of all levels of experience, great culture, benefits, and opportunity for growth. $1,000 signing bonus for qualified positions. Give them a call, 352-376-2366. And when I saw this, I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
In 2018, do you know who played in the AFC Championship game? That's That's 4 years ago, right? Or less than 4 years ago.
I mean,
3 years ago.
I thought about it for 2 minutes. I would know, but yeah.
The AFC Championship game in Foxborough in 2018
was the Jaguars and the Patriots.
Yeah.
And Blake Bortles made a pass that they called offensive pass interference on in the fourth quarter while the Jaguars were going down to win the game. That basically stalled the drive and helped New England win that game. But
that was 3 years ago.
Jacksonville was right there, bro. The fall off has been cataclysmic. It really has. But yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I remember Blake Bortles throwing that pass that they called offensive pass interference on. It's horrible.
So maybe that's why you picked them to win 7 games this year.
Yeah, the 2018 team. Hey, that was a good team, man. I mean, Leonard Fournette, he ran all over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I mean, so that is that 3 or 4 years ago? I'm trying because this year is 2021, right?
Okay, so 2019, yeah, it was
3 years ago.
That's right. Yeah,
they played in the AFC Championship game, and they've had the first pick. Since then, it seems like.
In that playoff run that they had, Leonard Fournette had something like 290 yards, some crazy number. I don't know. Maybe it was a crazy game that he had against the Pittsburgh Steelers, in which he actually broke a run for about 80 yards. And so, I mean, they blew out the Steelers in Pittsburgh. They then won. I think then they won another. Well, I don't remember if they played another one, but they should have beaten, or they had a chance to beat the Patriots, and they got.
Yeah, I mean, I remember them playing for that, but I didn't realize it was that. I mean, I thought it was like 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Devin's got a Facebook Live brought to you by Mello. I'm curious, with this whole staff coming together, what kind of defense we are going to run. And there it goes, fading away. Do you think we see more press coverage? I'm so tired of seeing bubble screens going for 10 yards. I don't know. I mean, Alabama doesn't press all the time. Georgia doesn't press all the time. You press, you are playing with fire. That's just, look, it is hard to play defense. There's a weakness at every defense called. And if the offense finds it, they're going to be in trouble. So, we'll see. John says on Facebook Live, are you worried about Brady with his lineman missing? It's a lot to ask a backup of lineman to block Aaron Donald. I have serious concerns about the Buccaneers. So, all right, JC, it's that time. It's that time. Let's get to our Peachland Dentistry, Gator Nation's #1 choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte and surrounding areas. Visit them at peachlanddental.com. So how did I do last week, JC?
You did great. You were better than me. You went 8-2. You took.
Actually, I went 8-3 because I took the Cardinals for some reason after I had picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl in August. That made no sense.
You know what? You're right. You did. You went 8-4 because you took the over. I had Arizona the under. So I went 6-6. You went 8-4.
Okay.
Not bad for you, though. But you were better by 2 games, and certainly 8 wins is not bad. The Monday night game killed you, but that's all right. QB, before we do that, just one more thing about the Lady Gator basketball team. This is Kiara Smith, 5'10". How about 35 minutes of playing time last night? 25 points. They win by 25 points over the Kentucky Wildcats, who were ranked 23rd and 8-6. I just had to look it up because it just blows my mind. Florida's unranked at 14-5. Kentucky is ranked 23rd at 8-6, and Florida kept Kentucky under 20 points in every period, all 4 periods. That is an ass whipping. And that's Kiara Smith, folks. Kiara Smith. Keep that name in your book.
Yeah, I saw a basketball game before we get to our picks. What in the hell is? I was getting ready. They are the University of Indiana, but they go by Indiana University.
Yeah. So silly.
They stormed the court. They're like 14-4.
It's been a long time.
And they stormed the court to beat Purdue.
Yeah. I know that. Well, that's their little in-state rival thing, and when they go to West Lafayette, they'll lose. But they do play great at home, man. Right now at Assembly Hall, Indiana is one of the better teams. When they're on the home court, they're one of the better teams in the country. And a lot of folks have been telling me that Purdue is the best team in the country, and this and that. And maybe they are, but I've seen them lose some games. All right, it's a tough.
They're pretty damn talented.
But they are good. They are good. But Indiana beat them by 3 last night, and Southern Cal had a big win last night over Colorado. They won by 3 as well. So. There you are.
All right, well, we'll get to what games are we picking?
We're going to start with the Saturday games. This is the Tennessee Titans, the first seed, the 1 seed in the AFC, playing host to the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Titans are laying 3.5 points on the home field. The over-under is 47. Weather looks to be pretty good.
Real quick, John asked, who is Indiana's coach? It's Mike Woodson, long time. He played at Indiana, long time NBA guy.
Yes,
I think he used to coach the Cavs or something. All right, so give me those lines again.
I thought it was the Knicks. Coach the Knicks.
Well, somebody in the NBA.
Yeah, I think it was the New York Knicks. Cincinnati is catching 3.5 in Nashville on Saturday. The weather is going to be beautiful. 40 degrees for a high, 24 for a low. There will be no big bad wind blowing. 47 points is your total. I'm going to go over that number, and I think Cincinnati and Tennessee are going to be in a shootout. And I like
the Bengals. I like the Bengals to win. I think they got too much firepower. I love Mike Vrabel as a head coach. I think his team always plays hard for him.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry is going to play. I don't know how well he'll play.
Fractured foot.
The Titans, those kind of teams, man, they look terrible, and next thing you know, they got to drive in the fourth quarter to go down and kick the game-winning field goal. I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
And the over 47? Or under?
Yeah, I'll go. I think Joe Burrow and them are too explosive.
All right, well then, just to be different, and this is a coin flip for me.
Okay, I'll do the under then.
Well, no, I was going to say I'll take Tennessee, laying the 3.5.
Well, you got your Bengals hat on. You can't do that.
I really can't, can I? I do have a Tennessee hat over the other. Want me to go get the Tennessee hat?
No, just pick the Bengals. Who cares? It's not like we have a prize we're giving away.
We have to lead our loyal listeners there, QB.
Well, we both like the Bengals.
Okay. All right. I'm taking the over. You take the under.
That's right.
Now, you know what? I do like the Bengals, but I think Tennessee's going to win by a touchdown. I'm taking Tennessee. All right. How about this? You're going to love this. In the beautiful town of Green Bay, Wisconsin, it will be 0 degrees. It is currently 8 under or 8 below 0. I was about to say 8 under par because it said -8 on the 8 under par right now in Green Bay. But the key with these games is the wind, I think, a lot of times in cold weather games. And I've never played in one, but that's what I was told. So in my mind, I'm going to take the 49ers are catching 5.5. And I'm not sure what Nick Bosa's status is. He's got to play, in my opinion, for them to get to have any success defensively. But I love the over 47 here. I think that's my favorite of the two bets. If it was a side or a total, I think the total is going to happen because I think the Niners know they're going to have to score, and I think Green Bay will score because that's what they do. But I'm going to take the Niners with the points, and this is probably a bad pick because I don't know the status of Bosa, but that's a lot of points for a team that's hot right now. And in spite of the 20-degree and 0-degree weather, I take the Niners getting the 5.5 over 47.
Give me the Packers and the under.
Yeah. You just did that because I took the Niners in the over. That's the only reason.
Well, I think the Packers win this game easily.
Oh, easily. Is it because of the injury situation?
No, I just think they're that good.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you didn't see watch the 49ers hand it to the Rams.
Cowboys are not very good, though. I mean, when I saw a stat, another Twitter stat, that Tom Brady's daughter, who's 8 years old, has touched and held the Super Bowl, the Vince Lombardi trophy, more than the Cowboys playoff wins in the last 25 years.
Well, that's because the Cowboys haven't been to a championship game.
JC, I'm telling you right now, the Cowboys are so overrated because they play in a horrible division. They have some explosive players, but Dak is so inconsistent. I don't know why they pay him that much money. I have no idea.
I think we all agreed that $40 million is a little crazy. But Jerry does.
He is not one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league.
Well, the Niners right now, I just think with the way they handled the Rams in the second half of that game, Deebo Samuel, one of the biggest things going right now. And if Garoppolo doesn't screw up, but they're going to be in every game. But I don't disagree. Green Bay is rested and ready to go. All right, then we get to Sunday. I will be in Tampa, and the Rams are playing the Bucs. It's a 3-point spread, and the over-under is 48, and I want the over in that one too. I know these are high 40 numbers, and that can be scary sometimes in these playoff games because everybody's kind of playing tight. But I think you're going to see balls flying all over the field. I know the Rams play really stout defense right now, but Brady finds a way. They have a tough time with the Rams, and right now this is setting up good for LA because of the running back situation with Cam Akers now and Sony Michel, not just Sony Michel. Cam Akers brings so much to that offense, and with Beckham being really part of the offense now, and Sean McVay finding ways to get him the ball, whether it's a slant or a corner fade. I just think that the Rams have got it going, and I'm going to go with them over Tampa with all the injuries. I think the Rams look really good in this game. Sets up.
I'll take the Rams in the under. I think. I just think the offensive line issues. I think when you don't have Chris Godwin, they just have not looked the same. And the Rams are struggling at the safety position, which Brady and Gronk can attack that. But I'm telling you right now, I thought all along, I think the Tampa Bay secondary is so bad, and I think Matt Stafford and those skilled guys will have a field day.
They're just going to sling it all over the place. You got Cooper Kupp, you've got Beckham, you've got Tyler Higbee who's involved. They're throwing the ball to Akers out of the backfield.
I would not, like I told you, JC, I would call maybe 10%. Well, it depends on how many plays you run. So let's go to this way. I would hardly ever call a run play if I'm Sean McVay, because the strength of the Tampa defense is their interior front seven. Why even take them out of the ball game? Just throw the football. And I think the Rams will win the game. And I think I just want you to send us a picture so we can post it Monday of you in your Todd Gurley jersey.
Will the Rams throw it 50 times, QB? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know how many. I'm just saying I wouldn't call it many runs. They'll call a few here and there, but there is no reason to call run plays against Tampa. No.
Well, that's another reason why I'm going with the over, but you're going with the under. So,
well, it doesn't. Just because you throw it every down doesn't mean they're all going to be touchdowns, JC. No, it's a ball control. They're going to throw their wide receiver screens. They're going to throw their bubbles. And then they're going to throw their little stick route to Cooper Kupp. And they're going to hit a Van Jefferson on an over. Then they're going to hit Beckham on a comeback or a dig. I just think Tampa's got too many problems. I mean, they got Tom. I get it. But I think it's going to come to an end.
All right. Well, that brings us to the game I think that the most anticipated game of the weekend. I think if you were just neutral to all of these teams, has to be the Buffalo-Kansas City game. You've got two of the biggest names taking snaps in Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. You got the Chiefs at Arrowhead where they never seem to lose. And Buffalo, who's really starting to gear it up with that defense. Now, what's hard for me to figure out here is that you've got two offenses that are going to sling it all over the field. And 53.5 is a high number. But the weather won't be a problem, and the wind won't be a problem. And so Kansas City at home laying 2.5 is my pick, and I'm going to go – here's another shocker. I'm going to go over 53.5. 53.5. Even though I think Buffalo's defense is really playing at a high level right now, I just know that Kansas City has ways of just making you look silly out there. And Buffalo is a great story, but I think at home that 3 points is going to matter, and it's only a 2.5-point spread, so give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's a shame this isn't the AFC Championship game. It's the two best AFC teams, two best quarterbacks. But I'm sticking with my Super Bowl pick from August. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. Okay. They've won. They've already won once. Not that it matters. They've won once in Kansas City already this year, but I think they're going to play well. Chiefs have concerned me here recently.
You like the
whoever wins this game is going to the Super Bowl.
So the winner of this game will either travel to Tennessee or they will host the Bengals. And so at least you're going to get one of these two teams playing for the AFC Championship. Kansas City, Buffalo. I think it's a Sunday nighter. We're going to find somewhere in Tampa after the Bucs game to watch this because I don't want to be on the road and miss this game between these quarterbacks, and people are just going to have to deal with that. So you got over 53 or under?
I'm going to go under just to be opposite of you. The Bills beat them earlier at Arrowhead 38-20 this year. Okay. I don't think they beat them that bad, but I do think they beat them.
All right. Well, there's our picks. I've got Tennessee in the over. You've got Cincy in the under. I've got San Francisco in the over. You've got Green Bay in the under. I've got LA in the over. You've got LA in the under. I've got Kansas City in the over. You've got Buffalo in the under. Under better. Under better.
No, I just wanted to be opposite of you to make it interesting because you were worried about us having the same picks. I don't really care about the score. I'm just picking the teams.
Well, listen, it's you know, the only one I'm really worried about is the San Francisco one. But I do. Why isn't that line 7? You know, why isn't it 7, 7.5, maybe 6.5? It's 5.5. I don't know. That's
I love Mike Shanahan. I mean, Kyle Shanahan.
You like Mike too, don't you?
I think Kyle's a better coach, even though he hadn't won a Super Bowl yet. I think Kyle is right now. I think he is the best schemer play caller in the league.
Well, he's going to have his work cut out for him, but he's capable. And
you know, I saw a picture the other day on Twitter. Of course, you know, like I get on Twitter like at night, right before I go to bed, or early when I wake up. Mm-hmm. I forgot what year it was. It was the Redskins. Kyle Shanahan was the OC. The tight end coach was Sean McVay.
Yeah.
And the quarterback coach was LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur.
And you should see this picture. These dudes look like a boy band. You know, it's some high school. It was a great picture.
Well, it's a great picture. They're great coaches. All of them have done great. You know, Shanahan should have had that Super Bowl. There was no way you could convince me today that Atlanta shouldn't have won that Super Bowl against the Patriots. I think Dan Quinn was the reason they lost it. And Shanahan, I mean, the Falcons were just having their way with the Patriots. And just a couple of coaching errors there at the end in the fourth quarter is what cost them. You kick that field goal, you make an 11-point game, the Falcons win the Super Bowl. Simple as that. That's it. And I just didn't do it. But Kyle Shanahan should have a Super Bowl ring. He should.
Yeah, Joseph says, wait till next year when Aaron Rodgers goes back home and finishes his career with the Niners. Think about how good San Fran will be to Rodgers and the roster they have on both sides of the ball. Yeah, that would be scary if he goes to the 49ers. We'll see. JC, we got a text here on the Titan MR text line real quick. If I can pull it up. Oh, well, that was a different text line.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, that was it. Oh, have you watched any golf, JC, before I let you go?
Yeah, I have not yet. It's typically a weekend deal for me, but where are they? They're in California.
They're in La Quinta, the American Express. Yeah. Some dude named Lee Hodges shot 10 under yesterday along with Patrick Cantley.
Yeah, here we go. 10 under.
They shot 10 under.
10 under.
I mean, what kind of golf course? I mean, grow the rough, bring the fairways in. That's what I've never understood. And I think I asked a tour player or a caddy one time. I said, why can't they make every week not as difficult as a major, but just make it difficult? They're like, these guys get so pissed off when they make it really hard. And I'm like, you're a professional. You should want to challenge yourself.
Yeah, that's crazy. All they're trying to do is see who can make the most birdies. It's a skins game, dude. That's all it is. And they you know, these California courses, it's just goofy golf. But they'll be coming to Florida. The grass will be different. The Bermuda's a little different. And then we'll get to our first major in April. So
the text came from Steve on the Titan MR text line. He says, JC, how much are you having to pay for these playoff tickets?
Well, it depends on where I'm sitting, and I'm trying to decide if I want to pay a lot or so the median price is about $200 a piece, and you can get them for about $160, $175 up high. You can get them for as much as $400 down low. It just depends, and so now I'm bringing 5. So 5 is a hard number to pull, but we'll get it done. If we have to go 3 and 2. We'll get it done, or just 5 across. There's a lot of tickets available. Prices, I think, will come down pretty hard tomorrow, and that's when I'm going to pounce. But I'm looking at $200 a piece. Yeah.
Jason says Aaron Rodgers don't want any part of the politics and mandates in San Francisco.
I mean, exactly. It's crazy world out there, bro. And that's exactly right. That is exactly right. He is the antithesis of the Berkeley student, and I think if Garoppolo,
did he graduate from Cal Berkeley? I bet he didn't.
Well,
you know, he was a JUCO guy.
Yeah.
So
and wasn't it Jeff Tedford that hired that hired him? No, wasn't it Jeff Tedford that hired Aaron Rodgers to play quarterback?
It was.
Well, so that's why he went there. And plus there weren't many offers for Aaron Rodgers. I read about this. He did not have schools beating down his door. He just didn't. And that was the most logical place to go. But it's Looney Tunes out there, man. It's wacky world. And I agree. That's a hard place to live. So I would say that if Garoppolo could pull this off, and they win at Green Bay, man, it'd be hard to take the bet against them because they own the Rams. They own the Rams. And I don't know how they would do with Tampa, but they own the Rams. So,
all right, JC, have a good trip.
That's it, man. Thank you. We'll talk about it on Monday. I'll send a picture to you.
Todd Gurley jersey busted out.
Todd Gurley. They had a chance, but they didn't score a touchdown.
Just tell everybody you have a Todd Gurley jersey.
I do. I do have a Todd Gurley jersey. It was a Christmas present. It was a present. And it's in the cool old school Rams with the blue and the gold horns coming across like this. It was a beautiful thing, but he's out of the game right now.
Okay, if the Rams win, you have to wear it on the show Monday.
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll absolutely do it. No question about it. All right.
That's JC. Join us on the Titan MR hotline. We're going to take our first time out, come back, answer a ton of these Facebook Live questions. You're watching and listening to Pot Up with Matthews in the morning.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, won't back down. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Great Clips, it's gonna be great. Our Gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Celebration Point Town Center, South State Bank, Chris Doring Mortgage, Silverback Concrete Co. Some of our touchdown sponsors are MB Listing, McDonald's of Gainesville, My IT Masters, Gainesville Neon and Signs, 84 Lumber, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Avera and Smith, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, Ruse Ogra Agent, State Farm Insurance, Silver Cube Billiards and Sports Bar. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit potupwithshane.com and click the Advertise button. Again, thank you to all the great businesses that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure you follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Hi, Steve Spurrier here. You know, making a reservation at my restaurant is easier than a Saturday afternoon homecoming game against Vandy. You don't have to call or email. Just go to spurriers.com, hit the reservation button, pick a date, number of guests, and a time. It's so simple, I can do it. In fact, I just did. Maybe I'll see you tonight.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. Celebration points where the Gators go to celebrate with premium brands like Nike, Regal Cinemas, Le Macaron, Dave & Buster's, Medici's, Palmetto Moon, and the HBC restaurant. Spurs Gridiron Grill now serving brunch on Saturday and Sundays. We'll see you at Celebration Point where the Gators go to celebrate. You also, if you go by there tonight, you might see some recruits chowing at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. I want to thank JC for joining us on the Titan MR hotline. We got a couple of Facebook Lives here. Joseph says, y'all act like he's got his whole career left. He'll live in San Francisco 4 months out of the year to get another ring, and then he's out. I guess he's referring to Aaron Rodgers. The Vikings do have a nice roster. That's a good one as well. So it'll be interesting to see what Aaron Rodgers does. Elway's about to be an owner. Rodgers ain't playing for Elway. He's already said he wants to go to San Fran because of their roster. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Somebody asked me a few minutes about my top 5 quarterbacks in the National Football League. I jotted down real quick, and I'd probably have to think a little bit more about this, but I'd say right now, these are my top 5 in the league. I'm excluding Brady because he's the greatest of all time. I don't think he's the most talented of all time. It was Kemp that said that. I got Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and I got Joe Burrow. I'll go to battle with any of those dudes as my QB. I think they're all phenomenal throwers of the football. Very accurate and know where to go with it. So that's mine. I'm sure I left somebody out, and somebody can text it or shoot it to me on Facebook Live. Again, if you missed it, Lady Gators win last night, beat ranked Kentucky team on the road. Kelly Ray Finley has her girls 4-2 in conference play. I don't know when the last time the Gators had a winning record in league play, but she's done a tremendous job. Tyron Hopper went into the portal for about 45 minutes to an hour, pulled his name out. I'm curious why he even went in there, quite honestly. I think he's a pretty good player. If you exclude, you have to exclude A-Rod. I don't quite understand what that means. So we got great people here that do research for us. Aaron did not graduate from any college, but has an honorary degree from Wisconsin. That's funny. Yeah, he was a JUCO kid. Think about that. Two of the quarterbacks playing this weekend were junior college kids. Nobody wanted them. Nobody wanted Aaron Rodgers, and nobody wanted Josh Allen coming out of high school. And I mean, shoot, if Joe Burrow doesn't transfer, we wouldn't know who he is. So he's a very talented player. So we'll see. I don't know who you guys are picking this week. But again, my winners, I have Bengals, Bills, Rams, Packers. Those are my 4 winners for the weekend. I'd like to know who y'all got as well. He's talking about if I exclude Brady, I got to exclude Rodgers. Not really. Although, like I told you, I said from day one, if I was to start a franchise, take away, no matter what their age is, I would pick Aaron Rodgers to be my guy. Cam says Hopper needs to put on another 15, 20 pounds, in my opinion, to play and what you have plans on running, whatever that is. Yeah, we don't really know what he's supposed to be playing right now. We don't know how they're going to use him. We'll find out, obviously, more once spring practice rolls around. And I'm not even sure what dates of spring practice are. I don't know if that's been announced yet or not. The Chris Doring Mortgage, they do mortgage lending right, helping home buyers throughout Gainesville and North Central Florida. Call Chris Doring Mortgage today at 352-244-0840. I've got a big weekend. Gators play basketball tomorrow against Vanderbilt. Get 1 day's rest. Got to travel. Go to Oxford. Play the makeup game against the Rebels. Come home. And then we play somebody that Wednesday night. I can't remember who it is, though. I've totally forgot. Let's see. We got another text on the Titan MR text line. See who it's from. Billy says, go Gators. Shane, do you think the Gators can win a few games without Colin Castleton? Referring to men's basketball. Look, I think they had to get adjusted the other night playing without him. I thought Jatobo played extremely well, but we made shots. That's where people are forgetting. You got to make shots to win. And if we can shoot the basketball, and we shot a bunch of threes and made them, you're going to beat a lot of teams. And I think they may play well without Castleton in there because they're not trying to rely on giving him the ball down low. Jeff says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellow, Napier took pizza and 4 other coaches over to Hopper's apartment to let him know they really wanted him to stay. All right. I'm just curious why he even put his name in the portal. I mean, do we really have to coddle these kids and tell them each day we really love you and we want you on our team? I don't quite understand it. Joseph asks, Shane, do you think Kirby landing in a helicopter at these schools is a big deal to recruits? I believe a lot of their recruiting money spent is on stupid stuff like that. Can't be cheap to charter a private helicopter. I think Saban started that back in the day. I'm sure it wows kids and probably the other students on campus when they hear the chopper coming in, landing on the football field. I do think it's silly, quite honestly, but it may go a long ways. And some kid saying, "Hey, they really want me. They paid to have a helicopter come in here." So, we'll see. Billy didn't take any helicopters. Nick took his private plane from school to school. I talked about it earlier. He had like a 10-minute flight from one place to the other. Daniel says, Reeves is hot. I think that's contagious. I hope he's that good and not just on a streak. Well, he's supposed to be a pretty good shooter. So We shall see. Let's take our final time out, come back, wrap up this Friday edition. You're watching and listening to Pod Up with Matthews in the morning.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, won't back down. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Great Clips, it's gonna be great. Our Gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Celebration Point Town Center, South State Bank, Chris Doring Mortgage, Silverback Concrete Co. Some of our touchdown sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union, Adams Rib Company, Doreen Wiebe Realtor, Caldwell Banker, MM Parish, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Wrap Spot, Okido America, Gators Dockside, Style Cuts, Big Mills Cheesesteaks. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit potupwithshane.com and click the advertise button. Again, thank you to all the great businesses that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure you follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Are you tired of being sidelined by nagging pain? Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Hall of Famer and Dance with the Stars champion. Happy to tell you about QC Kinetics and their biologic therapies for treating pain without drugs or surgery.
Are you suffering from chronic pain in your hips, knees, shoulder, or lower back? Are you tired of living with arthritis pain? QC Kinetics offers natural pain treatment that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints.
Listen, I know pain, and I've seen firsthand how powerful biologic therapies can be. Patients at QC Kinetics rave about their result because they're getting their lives back. They are getting moving again.
These exciting regenerative treatments used to be available only to pro athletes like Emmitt. Now they're available to anyone thanks to QC Kinetics. Call today for your free consultation.
Get long-lasting results from my friends at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics 352-400-4550. In North Central Florida, call 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics 352-400-4550.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security Systems Studios at South State Bank. We understand that small businesses need a community business partner they can rely on. South State has 4 convenient Alachua County locations. South State Bank, banking 4, member FDIC. A couple Facebook Lives before we get out of here. Joseph says there are rumors out there that C-Rob had a hand in taking Hopper to the portal. Not sure how much truth there is to it, but the guy was definitely a mole. Is he coaching anywhere? I don't even. Does anybody know if Robinson's coaching anywhere? And then John responds, if you were going to be mad about that, you can't blame Louisiana fans for being mad at Billy for taking their coaches and their players and leaving the cupboard bare. Yeah, it is what it is, but I don't know if Robinson's coaching anywhere. I don't know. You guys find out more stuff than I do. I don't know if any of our past staff is coaching anywhere right now. C-Rob went to Auburn. Okay, thank you for that. We got a little trivia question before we get out of here. The Pac-12 has had a title game since 2011. All but 3 teams have at least made one appearance in the game. Can you name the 3 teams that never competed for a Pac-12 title? And they all come from the same division. I like to throw trivia questions out there every now and then. All right, so C-Rob is at Auburn, so he was trying to get Hopper to come to Auburn, I'm sure. But that's what coaches do. Don't be mad at him. But I guess the pizza that Billy Napier bought and the coach is going over to his apartment sealed the deal. So didn't take long, pulled his name out of the hat, and there you have it. So anyway, the answer to the trivia question for all you people sitting on the edge of your seat for that question, the answer. John says Arizona, Arizona State, and UCLA. Incorrect. Although sounds like that would be correct. It's Cal, Oregon State, and Washington State have never qualified for the Pac-12 title game. Cal, Oregon State, and Washington State. I don't ever remember Arizona or Arizona State being in it, but who really cares about the Pac-12, right, folks? Hope you enjoyed today's program. We'll come back on Monday. We'll wrap up the weekend. A lot of stuff happening. this weekend. Today's show's a wrap, brought to you by Wrap Spot. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you on Monday.